Here we go again, trying to make another high effort video that's probably not gonna go well. I swear, literally, the first analysis video I made, as I call them, the first one I made, a war started in my comment section. Hey guys, back again with disappearing out of nowhere and coming back out of nowhere. It has been quite a while since I've done one of these types of videos. I only made 2 in the past, and the reason why I haven't made any like this is because I just don't think I was ready for those types of videos, but now I am. If you don't know what 7 Days to Die is, then search it up yourself. I'm not explaining it to you. Today, we'll be talking about the console edition of 7 Days, and you may be thinking, oh yeah, I know that, I've already played it. Well, no, you're probably thinking of something else. There's actually another version, an older version, a legacy version. You may be saying to yourself, wait a minute, why are there 2 versions of the same game? Telltale. Yeah, if you don't remember, Telltale went out of business, and if you didn't know, I don't know why, but Telltale Games, or I should say Telltale Publishing, was in charge of publishing the console edition for 7 Days to Die. Whenever they went bankrupt and just collapsed, they took 7 Days to Die down with them, the legacy console version. They took that down with them, and now it's delisted, and you can't buy it anymore, but you can still play it. So I'll give a brief overview on what the legacy console is and why it flopped, even though I kind of already talked about that. But regardless, the legacy console version for 7 Days to Die released on PS4 and Xbox One only, and it's a console port of Alpha 15 from the PC version of the game. Even though the game is literally dead, you can still play it, as I've said, and even play multiplayer. Pretty sure that online multiplayer still works. Pretty sure the servers are still up, but don't take my word on that. And it has split screen. Yeah, it's got split screen. Is it good?
Alright.
So since I don't want to make this video too long, I'm just gonna go over a list of like the most notable differences in the console port. I got these from both some people like online that I saw mention the differences and stuff. I also got this off the wiki. The wiki, yeah. So the most notable changes that I've been noticed was there's no dedicated servers, the multiplayer is smaller and it's ass. Same with the split screen, there's no like 3 or 4 player split screen, it's only 2 player. The skill system is limited. There's actually less skills in the console version, which I find kind of odd. There's less structures, less zombie types, map generation is apparently worse, and not only that, but zombies hardly spawn in POIs, which is kind of a big deal. Because, I mean, it's a zombie game, so not having a lot of zombies in your zombie game is kind of an issue. Now, no one talks about this, but these are 3 changes that I want to go more into. These are just kind of like personal gripes I have about the game, I guess. So the changes I've noticed is the achievement changes, which, yes, the achievements are much different compared to the PC version, and I swear the animal spawning in this version is so much worse. There was a point in the game where I just didn't see any animals. I would probably see 1 animal like every 5 days or something, 5 in-game days. Like, I swear the animal generation, the animal spawning is much worse as well, and Well, there seems to be a problem with the zombie spawning, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's something wrong with the animal spawning too. And then there's something I want to get out of the way, the elephant in the room, the fucking graphic. Now, I understand this is a console game, it's just Xbox One and PS4, but I mean, just look at this, look at the difference. Look at the difference here. I know it's a console. A PC is hundreds times more powerful than a console, and I understand that. But I mean, come on, dude. Consoles, the Xbox One and PS4 weren't that weak. I mean, I'm sure they would be able to handle the kind of graphics the PC had. I mean, this actually looks like shit compared to the PC. And I just don't understand why, because even with the high graphics on PC, the graphics still look pretty simple, especially if you compare it to, I don't know, a game like Battlefield 1. That game can run perfectly fine on Xbox One and PS4, even with the amount of things going on. So I just don't understand what, it had to have been like a personal issue with the team, because I don't understand why they just nerfed the graphics so much in the console version. Like, I'm not saying it's to the point where it's unplayable, but you can definitely notice that, yeah, the console graphics are much better. I mean, like, you'll notice the rain looks like shit, the lighting is kind of bad in my opinion. It looks very gloomy, kinda, I guess kinda desaturated, you can say. And I don't know if it's just me, it just kinda looks, how do I describe it? It looks kinda grainy, kinda like blurry, it doesn't really look clear, if that makes sense. It just doesn't look bad. But fortunately, as every gamer should know, graphics isn't what you should be focusing on. And like I said, it's not like the graphics make the game unplayable or anything. It's not unbearable. It doesn't give you an eyesore or anything. So it really isn't that much of an issue if you really think about it. I was able to play the console version for hours and the graphics never really bothered me. Now about the achievements, there's two differences about them. The first difference is that, well, keep in mind, this wasn't back in the day, you know? The console achievements, they just look a lot better. Like, I mean, look at this and compare it to the PC achievements. I don't know what in the world FunPimps was thinking, but they for some reason thought it was a good idea to change the PC achievements to this, and it just doesn't look good. It doesn't look visually appealing. It looks boring. It looks bland. What I wanted to talk about is the Xbox achievement, or just the console achievements. So for some reason they are different than the PC achievements. They're the same, it's just, you'll see what I mean in a minute. So fun fact, FunPimps actually, as development went on, they actually nerfed some of the achievements. In other words, they made it easier to get them, especially the PvP achievements. Oh boy, the PvP achievements are so absurd. Okay, so let's take a look at what we currently have, right? So first of all, I just want you guys to keep this in mind. This is not marketed as a PvP game. People don't play this game for PvP. So and like the multiplayer isn't really that big either. Even on PC, the multiplayer isn't necessarily that big. So that alone is going to make these achievements harder. But let's look at PC achievements. So you got the PvP achievements right here, right? It's not too bad. So you kill one player, okay? Kill 5 players, kill 10 players, kill 25 players. It really doesn't sound that bad, right? But then you take a look at the console achievements for PvP. Oh, so, okay. Kill 10 players, okay? Kill 100 players. Kill 500 players. And then if you thought that was bad, the final one is killing 2,500 other players. You need to kill 2,500 players to get this achieved. And you want to know something? You know what I said about the multiplayer and the fact that this game is in PvP? Well, that's like 10 times worse for console. Because first off, there was barely anyone even playing console, and even the people that were playing console were only playing just by themselves or with friends. But like, again, even with multiplayer servers, no one really played the game for PvP. It wasn't primarily focus about PvP. The PvP was actually kind of bad and boring, dare I say. So people just weren't going out killing each other. It's not like Rust, where the whole focus of the game was to raid and kill. No,
bro, I fucking love you. I fucking love you, man. I love you so much, okay? I love you. Jinky, I love you, man. Pink face, I fucking love you.
This game, you're just trying to survive. You're trying to kill zombies and build your defenses. You don't care about what other people are doing. So it's just so absurd that that these achievements are a thing. I'm glad they at least had the decency to make them much easier to get in the PC version. And something else funny too is that there are people who are begging other people to help them get these achievements, and some of these achievements are so harsh, they're so absurd, that people are going and literally making entire guides and strategies on how to get these easily. And even then, even using those guides, it takes quite a long time to get it, because it's so much that you have to do. Like, let's take a look at the death achievements, okay? Keep in mind, this is a game where you're supposed to survive. So tell me, why the fuck is there an achievement where you need to die 500 times? Yeah, you heard me right, 500 times. On the PC version, the Meet Your Maker achievement, you only need to die 28 times, right? That's not too bad. But on the Xbox version, you have to die 500 times. 500 times.
What the fuck were they thinking?
What kind of game, what kind of survival game has achievements that encourages you to die? It just doesn't make any sense at all. Again, I'm glad they had the decency to make it easier in the PC version, but oh my. So, before I let you go, I wanted to briefly mention the multiplayer for the console version, because I don't know, I mean, I just feel like it's kind of odd. Now, I understand a lot of console games, they'll have like, you know, the quick match or whatever, you know, but this game, that's usually for shooter games and shitty battle royales, which not 7 Days to Die isn't really any of those. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a shooter, but it's more of a survival game. So, how the multiplayer works is you click join game, and you would think maybe there's like a server browser or something, right? Well, no, there's no server browser. How it works is if you join a game, you only have the option of private or public game. Private being, you know, just like with your friends or something, which that's easy. That's an easy process, you know. Invite, send an invite, and yeah, you can join their game. The thing with public, though, with the public servers, how that works, if you were to choose public server, you would go into a random server. Yep, just a random server. You're literally just gambling. You could either, here's a problem with that. Here's a problem with going to random servers. You're literally gambling with it, which means you could go into a dead server, a full server, a shitty server, a good server. You really just don't know. And this randomness also kind of makes the player base very divided, because here's the thing, some people make their worlds public. So imagine all of the worlds that can pop up, everyone will just be spread out everywhere, and you can't have like one server that has a lot of people in it, which kind of causes an issue with multiplayer, because when everyone's spread out, so little people are in servers, so it's just like you just get bored. When you're playing multiplayer, you want to have other people, you want to see other people, but and you know, with the pretty big maps, it's kind of hard to encounter people. But and the other problem with that is that for some reason there's this thing with 7 Days to Die where people will make their worlds public, but then as soon as you join their game, they'll just kick you out. Now, there probably is an explanation for this, in that they probably, I don't know, they probably didn't realize it was on public, and so whenever they see, and then the little chat box at the bottom of someone joined their game, they're like, oh shit, I thought it was on private, and then kick them, and then they kick them out. But it's just another issue in multiplayer. That would kind of make the servers even smaller, I feel like, because it's like, oh well, what's the point of me trying to rejoin servers if I'm just gonna get kicked over and over, you know?
Get the fuck off my porch! Get your ass off this motherfucking porch, bitch!
I don't know, that's just my personal opinion. But if you're curious, on PC, even back then, there is a server browser. There is a server browser in the PC version of the game, so again, I don't really know what the constraint was with the console version. I don't know why they couldn't add a server browser. I almost forgot to mention another problem is that the servers are player hosted, which I don't know if that's the actual term, but they're player hosted, which means if the player who made the server leaves, then the entire server shuts down and everyone gets kicked out. And the reason why that's a problem is because, you know, if the owner's just done and is ready to quit, then they can just quit the game and everyone will get kicked out. It's also a problem if you kill or raid the owner of the server, because if they rage quit, then they leave and the entire server shuts down. So it's also a problem because, like, you know, if you made any significant progress on that server, if the player leaves, then it's just like, and you know, joining servers is completely random, so the chances of you getting back in that server once the host is playing again, but yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about with this version of 7 Days to Die. If you have your own personal opinions about the game, or the hell, if I made a mistake in something I said, like I accidentally said something that wasn't true or whatnot, please let me know. I've said before, but for these types of videos, I would appreciate any type of criticism that you guys have. I'm not a pussy, okay? I can take whatever you guys say. Like, I genuinely want to make better videos and whatnot, so just, you know, if there's anything I can do to improve my videos, whether it's the way I talk or the way I edit, just, you know, let me know. I could take them into consideration, you know. But yeah, any comment, any criticism is appreciated, and sorry for not posting so much. I've just been super busy, but y'all know how it is, super busy, blah 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 blah. And you know, but you know, I'm glad I got this video out, and yeah, I'll see y'all all whenever I decide to come back. Bye bye.